is what can local businesses and companies do, just within their doors to prevent supply chain issues and challenges?
Yeah, I think Patrick touched on some of that. But it starts before, and then we need people like on the cyber end to protect it. But it's more information. Also, even if you're a small company, supplier relationships are critical. So that's a little more old school, is making sure you have good relationships with your suppliers or have multiple suppliers. I think what we learned most from we learned a lot of things from the pandemic. And one of them was your supply chain needs to be more resilient. And the way you do that is either have more suppliers or better relationships with the suppliers that you have. So that's kind of the old school solution. The newer school solution is being much more data intensive. And again, that can be more challenging for smaller businesses who don't have the budget to start deploying AI, leading or even embedded in analytics within their supply chain. But again, having better control of tracking, when things are due from your supplier community, having information technology and supply chain, you can't do those two things separately. In order to have an effective supply chain, it requires, it's information intensive. So making an investment in the ability to have information so that you have more transparency of what's going on in your supply chain, you've got a better ability to manage that supply chain. So I think that's what's coming. Again, for smaller businesses, it could be a little more challenging because of the cost of doing that, but I think in the long run, it pays off. But as Tabitha said, you gotta have cash, cash is king. So, that's more of a little bit of a longer plan, and you gotta make it through the short term. So having the cash flow to be able to support an information solution is critically important too.